Hello everybody, welcome back to Flip City with Mr. Chris. I'm Mr. Chris. In this video, I'm going to show you guys 20 items that sold for $25 or more over the last 2 weeks. And we'll work our way from the lowest end all the way up to the high end. There's going to be some great bolos that you don't want to miss out on. And there's also going to be a couple of brands that are 100% or even higher sell-through rate. You don't want to miss those brands because these items are going to sell at a really good average sales cost and sell quickly. But before we get into it real quick, I'm a part-time reseller. I only sell on eBay. I go sourcing 2 times a week. Wednesday night, half off at Salvation Army. And on the weekends, I go to Goodwill Bins. Occasionally, I'll also go to another thrift store called City Thrift. But for the most part, I only spend a few hours a week sourcing. Also, I really wanted to say thank you to every single person that watched the last video because it was my first video that ever blew up. I have over 3,000 views on that video that I released last week. Over 150 new subscribers. So thank you and welcome to all the new subscribers. And thank you to anybody that was returning and watched the video. I really appreciate the encouragement. And yeah, it's pretty exciting. So let's jump right into it. Okay, so for the first item up, this is sold for $24.99, so basically $25. This is going to be a Bad Birdie golf polo. I think in my last video I called it Bad Bunny, but Bad Birdie, there's the logo, right? Not the highest end golf brand, but pretty good. And if you remember the 4 keys, brand, pattern, material, and size, this is a good brand to be on the lookout for, Bad Birdie. The material is great for the spring. It's like a dry fit golf material. The pattern, right? Really crazy, wild, fun pattern. And the size is a 2XL. These bigger sizes sell quickly and for a pretty good average sales cost. So $24.99. All items are plus shipping. I set that on eBay to plus shipping. So there's the first item, $25. Moving right along, we got some smart wool shorts. These are a merino wool running shorts. They're like merino wool lined, very soft, just regular nylon or polyester exterior. These sold for $25. We basically have 3 of the 4 keys we're looking for, right? This is a great brand to be on the lookout for, Smart Wool. This is a good pattern, always fun, flashy, wild patterns are always good. Material is great as well with the merino wool inside and the dry fit running. Size is not the best. Medium is not always the best. You're going to always want to look for like a large or extra large when possible, but $25 plus shipping, great sale. And it sold within 2 weeks. Okay, up next is another Bad Birdie polo. I found these separately, but again, another wild pattern. I think most of these Bad Birdie polos have these kind of crazy patterns. I'm not 100% sure, but this was a like geometric orange and blue and white print golf shirt again. This one's called the Catalina, and it is a size large. So pretty good. All the 4 keys there, brand, good pattern, another crazy material, good size with the large, $25 plus shipping. Right, so we're already at $50. Good stuff. All right, you know that I love Polo Ralph Lauren. I picked this shirt up a long time ago, actually. This one sat much longer than I thought it would. It's a pretty fun pattern, really great for the summer. It's just like kind of Hawaiian shirt style. Let's see, there you go. Paddle border and some beach stuff and surfers, all over print. Usually does good. Size large. This one sold for $26.60 plus shipping. You could see I marked it down. I definitely thought it was going to sell for a lot more, but I'll take $26 any day. The lowest I'm looking for on my sales is I'm looking at $20 and up. I don't really want to mess with anything that's going to sell for less than $20. I do have items like that, but I've slowly been phasing them out, marking them down, and doing a better job of just sourcing higher sales and sell-through rate, right? Sell-through rate is super important. You don't always get items that are 100% sell-through rate, but the higher the sell-through rate, the quicker your items are going to sell, and you're going to get your money quicker and be able to put it right back into new inventory. Grow faster. That's the goal, right? Okay, up next, I have picked up some great boots in the past that have sold for like $200. These are not a pair of those boots. This is just a generic Justin brand women's boot, sold for $28.88. As you can see, not a great color. I guess the size was not that well. They're in good condition. And $28 isn't too bad. I picked these up at the bin, so they were probably about $3 because they're a little bit heavy. So not horrible, but you know, average sales cost staying above $25 is good. Just remember with boots to make sure you have good sized boxes to ship them in. You don't want to be stuck with them, and you want to be able to ship stuff out as soon as possible. But I'd probably pass on Justin boots next time, to be completely honest, unless they were more unique and maybe more rare material. Sometimes boot brands come with like shark or ostrich or other these different kinds of materials. Those would probably do a lot better than just a basic brown leather cowboy boots. All right, let's move on. Here we had a vintage Reebok basketball jersey, Chris Webber from the Sacramento Kings. I didn't really get the greatest pictures, and if you've watched my videos in the past, you know I try not to sell white items. This is why. This shirt looks really dingy in the photos, and I tried everything I could to get it to look better. Luckily, it looks better in person, so whoever bought it's going to be happily surprised. This is about $30 plus shipping, so not bad. And again, buying things at the bins, they're very lightweight, get sold by the pound, so I'm sure I probably only paid about $1 or $1.50 for that. I try to make sure I put all the photos to get every detail, and in the description I'll mark it down too. Usually I try not to get anything with flaws unless it's something a little bit rare, like this was a vintage item, so it's to be expected that it's not going to be in perfect condition. So, and actually it sold really quick. I think I sold that in about a week or two, so not bad. All right, here's something I don't usually sell. These are bicycle like cycling jerseys. This one is a Aussie brand, I think, specialized on there. The reason I picked this one up was that it's the Mountain Dew and it has the cactus here. It's called the Cactus Cup. This is actually an international sale. I don't know if it says that on here, but this one's an international sale. So $32 plus shipping for a very lightweight, probably 8 to 10 ounce shirt. Right? Definitely unique. Brand, I don't know too much about cycling brands, so I wouldn't be able to say if that's a good cycling brand. But the pattern, obviously, is probably what sold this one. It's not the best size. It's a medium. The material for most of these cycling shirts is probably going to be pretty much the same, kind of like the golf material, golf shirts. But I think that this pattern is definitely what sold this shirt. So $32. As we keep moving on, you'll see the price is going to increase. So that's great. Always trying to get $20 or more. Here's a brand with way over 100% sell-through rate, especially on these Stratotech Polo shirts. And I find these, I don't know, I've been finding these pretty regularly for $5 or less. One or two of these I found at Goodwill, and the other one I found at Salvation Army on half off. So I'm not sure exactly how much I paid for it, but I never pay more than $5 for any items. That's just kind of a rule I have, unless it's something very, very unique. But for the most part, I'm spending $5 or less on my items. This is a Viori, like I said, Stratotech Polo shirt. Nothing really crazy about these Vioris, and the interesting thing about Viori is at first glance, right, it's kind of like Lululemon. Doesn't seem special, just very basic, nothing catchy, not really any pattern that's going to catch your eye. But the brand Viori is a great brand. You always want to scoop up Viori if you can. The material is amazingly soft. So that's a key, I think, to why this brand is so popular. And also right now, it's just a very popular men's brand. You can see this one was excellent condition. There's the tag, the size tag, and you could tell that it's like, it looked like it was barely worn. I'm not even sure if they wore it. Maybe they just didn't like it. I don't know. You never know. It's always interesting to see why these things end up in the thrift store. But whatever, someone didn't like it, I'll take it, make some money with it. All right, another 100% sell-through rate. In fact, I think Proof is closer to about 125% or even higher on certain items. This is a new brand I found over the last couple weeks, Proof. Very similar to Viori, Lululemon. It's going to be your basic menswear stuff, soft material. This is made out of merino wool also. Seems to be merino wool and bamboo seem to be like popular materials for these men's line clothing. So if you check these out, Proof, look, this is just a basic t-shirt, no crazy pattern, decent size, large, sold for $36. And if you find Proof, I'm telling you right now, these things are going to sell super fast. So get on top of these. Keep an eye out for that logo. Right now, these are hot. good average sales price, over 100% sell through. If you could get all brands like this, you'd be rich. You'd be doing great. All right, here's a unique item that at first I kind of passed up. I saw it at the bins and, you know, Pepsi, no big deal, threw it back. But I used my Google Lens and it told me, hey man, pick that back up because the sold comps look great. Almost $40 for just a quarter zip sweatshirt. I'm not sure if this is something for like Pepsi workers or if it was something that was given away. It says Pep Plus there, but I think that means kind of like dry fit material for them. And you can see the tag looks like little Pepsi cans. So size medium, right? Quarter zip, interesting pattern, but nothing crazy. $38 plus shipping. So helping my average sales cost go up. For this one, sell-through rate is going to be almost impossible to compare because there's just not going to be a whole lot of unique items like this to compare. So I did find a few that had good sales, and so I went ahead and scooped it up. And when you go to the bins, it kind of gives you leeway. It gives you a little wiggle room to pick up some new items and test them out and see what you can do with them. Because the worst case scenario, you probably pay about $1 or so for it. And so you're not going to take a huge loss if it doesn't sell. All right, shoes. In my video, the last video, again, thank you everybody for subscribing and liking and so many views. I can't even explain to you how happy I was. But this pair of shoes sold in one day. So probably I might have underpriced them, but again, I got them at the bins, so probably $2. The best part about these, they're a pretty good brand, Astral. If you ever see that brand, definitely do some sold comps, look it up on eBay. They were in excellent shape. I did not have to clean them at all. Let's get to the soles. You can really tell on the soles right there. Right, so no wonder they sold in less than a day. Decent size, 9.5. I think for men's about 10 and up is probably a good range, but $38, great profit. The buyer pays shipping as always. So after all the fees and stuff, I probably made about $30 on that pair of shoes. So it's great. All right, I love soccer. I'm from Southern California, so when I found this, caught my eye. LAFC, right? That's one of their football teams there. The second one. It's a black soccer jersey long sleeve, which you wouldn't think would sell in the summer, but it sold $38. It's a great pattern. It's kind of unique with the long sleeve for soccer jersey. Most of the time they're short sleeve, and it's an extra large. Right, and let's see, you can see the graphics and the patch are still in really good condition. Like I said, I try the best I can to get items that don't have flaws for multiple reasons. One, because I really only want to be selling stuff that would be in a condition that I would want to buy. But also, without the flaws, I don't have to worry about taking extra pictures or listing the flaws in the description. Believe it or not, buyers aren't always reading all the details. You would like them to, but they don't. So if you can get stuff that's in amazing condition, you'll also probably get a lot better feedback. Right? So LAFC jersey, $38. Moving right along to another soccer jersey. This is a Peru jersey I showed you a few weeks back, maybe about a month ago. Picked this one up at City Thrift. I remember it is brand new with tags, $39.88. So basically $40. There you go. Got all the measurements. Summertime's a great time to sell international soccer jerseys because of the international friendlies and the World Cup warm-ups. So if you find any soccer jerseys, especially national team ones, in great conditions, especially if they're new with tag, definitely look them up. You're probably always going to find them. This wasn't a great size and a small, but still sold for basically $40 plus shipping. So keep an eye out for those international soccer jerseys for sure. All right. My favorite brand right now, again, Proof. Here's a 72-hour merino polo shirt. It's a good size, good brand. Let's go to the keys. Brand, Proof, yes. Material, whatever they're doing to the merino wool, very soft. Everybody seems to like it. That's good. Pattern is a little more unique, right? It has some stripes on it, not just a basic color or heathered color. It has like the stripes, so that's pretty good. And the size extra large. So this one's hitting all four of my keys. And as a result, $40 sold in a week. So Proof. I can't say it enough. It's a great brand. Find it while it's hot. Okay, here's a new brand I found. Oh, and also, as you know, over 100% sell-through right now. So great sell-through rate, great average sales price. These are winners. Another good brand, Onward Reserve. Let's see, there's the logo. It looks like a bear. Definitely keep your eye out for these. This was a new brand for me less than a month ago. It's the first time I found one, and I actually found two together. And these are University of Georgia Bulldog theme. You can see them there in the corner, the little patch. It's a size small, and it's still sold for $40. So Onward Reserve is a great brand. Pattern is stripes, nice. Also University of Georgia, so it's a little bit more unique. Material, just a regular dry fit kind of material, performance stretch material. Size was not great at all. Still sold for $40. So keep an eye out for that. Proof, Onward Reserve. These are great brands to be on the lookout for right now. All right, you know I'm the bag man. Here's a Thu bag that I picked up at Salvation Army. Normally the bags are $9.99, so half off Wednesday. I paid $5 for this. It was in excellent condition, very skinny, easy to ship. You see all the photos there, not a single flaw on this bag. It was amazing. Yeah, in fact, if I was still like working in an office and commuting, I'd probably definitely keep that bag. $40, excellent. So 5 into 40, probably about a $35 profit after fees. And all these buyers paying the shipping. So let's check out what we got here. Another Onward Reserve. I'm sure these were both the same person because they're University of Georgia and size small. This is the black with the red stripes. The other one is red with the black stripes. I don't know. Is there a difference? I don't know. It seems like it. It seems more black and the red is skinnier, but kind of like a zebra. Is it white with black stripes or black with white stripes? I don't know. Anyway, Onward Reserve stuff. Great stuff right now for golf season in the spring. $40 for a small men's polo that you get for $5 or less. It's a great pickup. 100% sell through, and it's going to sell really fast, especially the time of year that it is right now. All right, here is a Tumi bag. This is probably the least amount I've ever sold a Tumi bag for. Usually I get closer to $75 and above for them. The bags do not usually have this, what is this called right here? I don't know, personalization or whatever, right? But it was still in decent condition. And Tumi bags, if you've ever gotten them, the material is so thick and strong. It's very clean inside. So even with the personalization on there with the letters, this still sold for $45. A little briefcase bag. Everybody knows Tumi. I don't have to, I'm not putting anybody on, right? To Tumi, everybody should be aware of that. And if you're looking for bags, Tumi is great. Always going to sell, always for a good price. You can see I marked it down a little bit just to get it to move. But yeah, $45, I'll take it, especially from the bins. Here's an interesting one I picked up about maybe a month and a half ago. It's from the Gap, which is a brand I don't normally look at or pick up at all. But what caught my eye is it's kind of got this Sgt. Pepper's Beatles band kind of look. Yeah, I don't know, super unique. $50 sale. This one actually sold once before and just sat because the buyer never paid for it. Thank you, eBay. That's something I really wish they would take care of. But anyway, has pretty cool details with these buttons and the stitching, and $50 for a small Gap jacket. Not a bad deal, right? And I got this one at, I don't remember where I got that one. At the most, I paid $5 for it though, so I'd have to go back in one of my old videos. But keep an eye out for those. They're kind of unique, but if you find them, that's one Gap item that it definitely is worth picking up. All right. Last but not least, Lululemon. I don't know. People are out there saying Lululemon is dead and you can't get as much as you used to get for these. I got this at the bins. First of all, I can't believe people are donating these things, but it was in excellent condition. This is called the Define Hooded Jacket, and it's a women's size 6, which I'm not really sure what that is, like small, medium, or large. Lululemon kind of has their own sizing going on. But you can see it has this like kind of diamond pattern in there. It's a little subtle. You could tell with the lighting. $54 plus shipping, Lululemon. All right, guys, so there's 20 items that sold in the last 2 weeks for $25 or more. A couple BOLOs in there that I'm sure that a lot of people might not have heard of. Onward Reserve, Proof. Keep an eye out for those. 100% sell-through rate on those. Always a great brand. Very basic, so they could be easily overlooked. So keep an eye out for them. You'll tell by the touch. You can really tell by the feel of the material. So just keep an eye out for that. always pay attention to the material. Don't pass over basic stuff. So thank you guys very much. Again, I cannot even begin to say how appreciative I am for all the subscribers and viewers for the last video. Over 3,000 views was amazing. So thanks for joining. Keep our channel growing. And if you have anything that you have any questions, just throw it in the comments, or if you have suggestions, or if you have a bolo that you think I should be on the lookout for, I would love to learn. So thank you very much, and see you in the next video.